Welcome to the Eye on Annapolis Local Business Spotlight. There are thousands of locally owned businesses in the area, some small and some large. Some you may know and others you don't. But one thing they all have in common is a great story, and we want to share it with you. Join us every Saturday as we talk to the founders, the owners, and the managers of local businesses you have come to know and love, and those you will come to know and love. Now here's your host, John Frenay, with this week's Local Business Spotlight.
Well, this morning we're talking, actually it's a little bit different because this is the better half of a trivia teammate of mine's company. And we're talking with Jennifer Cochran, who is the owner and I guess lead designer and chief cook and bottle washer for Jennifer Cochran Designs. And we're up here in Crofton. And how are you?
I'm good.
Say you are a graphic designer based in Crofton, but I think you're probably a little bit more. I was looking at your website, which is jennifercochrandesigns.com. You get a lot more into, when I think of graphic designer, I'm thinking like, okay, I need a logo. And obviously you do that.
Yes.
But it's so much more, isn't it?
Yes.
Again, on the website, design, branding, illustration, signage. I mean, it's pretty much sort of an all-encompassing, I guess, the graphic end of the whole marketing. I mean, you don't do the marketing per se, but
no,
everything that supports the marketing.
Yes.
How did you get into it?
So I've been doing art since I was a little kid. I've been, all the kids would go out to play and I would go to art class.
So you were that girl.
I was that girl. I love art. I've done every kind of medium, except oil paints, but I've done woodworking. I've done jewelry making. I've done, I love acrylic paints, watercolors. I love photography. I have a background in photography.
Well, here's a question for you then. If you weren't doing Jennifer Cochran Designs and you were not married to my trivia mate, and you were married to Elon Musk, who wasn't a jerk, and you had all of this giant piles and piles and piles of money and not a care in the world, what type of art would you do?
I would be doing this.
Would you be doing graphic design?
I would be
really?
doing graphic design. It is my passion. I love it. Truly enjoy it. It engulfs me.
What turns you on about it?
I love the creativity.
Do you mostly work with local businesses or do you anywhere? I mean, obviously with the internet now, we can be anywhere.
So I work mainly in Anne Arundel County. I've done things in Arizona. I've done things in California, but I like to work with my clients one-on-ones.
Well, I think it's also probably has, it's kind of nice to see living in Anne Arundel County to sort of see the fruits of your labor.
Yeah.
When it's done. I mean, if you do something for something in California, you may never see it again.
Yeah.
But here, if you're doing something for the local store up the street or something like that, every time you go by, there's a sign out in front of their store, or the poster in the window or something like that.
Yeah, it's really nice to see people face to face. COVID was hard because you couldn't meet with people. Did a lot of Zoom.
Well, that's when we started these local business spotlights the year before COVID, and then COVID ran. I said, oh, well, we'll just run a couple repeats for 2 weeks and COVID will be gone and we'll just pick up where we left off. And, a year and a half later, when we started to be able to get out, I ended up doing a couple with Zoom, but I really do like to get out and talk and see people face to face and everything else. Well, describe your process. I mean, if I'm looking for just a logo, are you my girl?
Yeah.
And I'm looking for a complete rebrand. Is Jennifer Cochran Designs the place to?
We do that as well. I don't do a lot of it because I do work with small companies, but we can do that. I also have a marketing person that I can work in conjunction with that does the social media and all of that stuff as well. When you come to me, we work with, I can do your font selection, your color branding, your image branding, your logo branding, to get your whole company voice. I haven't done a lot of it because the small companies usually don't have the budget for it.
Of course.
But I'm looking to get more into that space.
It's so funny when you talk about the look on a brand and you sit there and you go back into the trivia thing. A lot of times they'll take the names out of the logos, and it's when you have a good logo, you look at it and you know exactly who it is.
Right.
I'm thinking Pepsi right now with the red and the blue and the white, white swoosh going through it. Nike certainly.
Yeah. I
which,
love
you know,
the Nike logo.
I mean,
and
you
the
look at
story
that thing, and it's like,
behind it.
okay, well, we know what that is. Adidas to a degree as well. I mean, they're starting to come back to their own. They used to be something else, but it's so important to any kind of a small business. I mean, I always think that you should really, that's not a quick decision. I mean, that's not a, I'm going to go to Fiverr.com and say, hey, I'm opening up
Oh my gosh, I hate Fiverr.
a coffee shop, and you're going to get, you know, a coffee mug with some steam coming out of it that says Mary's Coffee.
Right.
That's just not going to work I mean, it may work to get you open, but it's not going to work to keep you in business as you establish your brand.
Right.
And that's where, I mean, where people like you come in, the creatives. And I mean, I am the first to admit that I have zero creativity, and I rely on people this is the image I want to portray.
Yeah.
And now you need to figure out how to do it.
Yeah. So when you come to me for a logo, I have you fill out a 4-page questionnaire.
That's extensive.
Yeah. On the mission behind your company, the color choices that you prefer, your competitors, stuff like that, so that I know your background, so that I kind of know where to go and what you're looking for, kind of your voice.
Well, that makes sense to me. I mean, it surprised me when you said 4 pages. And I mean, but again, it probably works out in your favor in that you're not redoing it and redoing it and redoing it.
It does cut down on edits.
But also to really make your client think about what it is they're doing and what they want to do and how they want. I mean, I imagine if you handed me that survey, I'd be going, oh, I never thought about that. Why does she want to know about my competition? Why does that? And it's like, okay, well, now I'm thinking this is what they do well. This is what they do bad. Maybe we want to, avoid or come near. That's really very smart.
Yeah.
That's really, really smart. I guess, I mean, how long does the process take to do?
So there's 2 types of logos. There's a word-based logo, a word mark is what it's called.
Okay, that's like Billy Bob's Bait and Tackle, where it spells it out, and I look at it, and it's got fancy letters.
Yes, you can manipulate the font into doing some really creative things, but it's still called a word mark logo.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's the illustrative logo, where you have the illustration, the graphic, so to speak. And I hand draw all of my logos.
Oh, okay. So you're not cutting and pasting off of a clip art.
No.
The photo, well, it used to be called way back when there was a print shop. Used to have a software where you could buy the extra clip-on art discs that went into the computer way back when.
Yeah. No, I do a lot of research, and then I sketch, and then I draw it on a computerized tablet into Illustrator, and everything's vector-based and goes into there, so you can scale it as big as a billboard.
That's pretty cool. Do you do, no, I guess what mediums? I mean, we've mostly been talking, it seems to be print.
Yes, so I specialize in print design and branding. That's my specialization. Mm-hmm. Print design, branding. I do signage. I do illustrations. Those are my side piece things, but my specialization is print design. I love the papers. I love the inks. I love the varnishes. I love all that stuff.
Well, it sort of brings up the question, though. I mean, print design really overlaps with digital and online. I mean, I'm not going to get you to get me a logo for my business card and not use it on my website, not use it on my emails and everything else. So, I mean, that's what you do is perfectly designed for the online world as well.
Yes, but I also, with the brochures, the business cards, the print media that I do, the logos are the digital aspect of what I do as well, and the branding. So when you get a logo, you get several different types of files. You get the screen-based files, you get the print-based files. So I use Pantone colors in all of my logos. So those are, I don't know if you know what a Pantone color is.
I think I do. That's the 6-digit. Is that the 6-digit?
No, those are hexadecimal colors.
Okay. See, now I'm going to learn something new. This is awesome.
Hexadecimal colors are the colors that you use, screen-based colors. Those are web-based colors.
Okay.
Those are the ones that have the letters and numbers in them. and those are web-based colors. Pantone colors are inks specifically formulated for print, and you can use them worldwide. So if you have a Pantone color number, say 185, it's a red, and you use it in a printer in California, and you decide to print it in Europe, that color will be exactly the same in California as it is in Europe, because it is a formulated soy-based ink.
Interesting. Okay. Well, because I know I've heard the news stories about like the Pantone color of the year is is mauve or purplish or something, whatever it may be. Okay, so that makes sense because that would be, and I mean I'm assuming there is probably some sort of a conversion calculator to say okay which is the closest screen hexadecimal to.
So
this.
I have a fan of 300 colors, and in that fan that I have, well, they have different. Fans of colors with different formulations to them, but the one that I specifically have is the Pantone color chip, and then next to it is the CMYK, which is cyan, magenta, yellow, and black formulation next to it.
And everything can be developed from CYMB?
CMYK. And not every Pantone color, because Pantone colors are very specific with their formulation. But you can get them very close.
Very cool.
So every logo you get from me has a Pantone, a CMYK, an RGB, and a hexadecimal formulation.
Okay, so you're getting very close no matter what you're looking, what medium you ultimately are going to be using as long as your customer. Do you get into any of the animation?
I've done them. Yeah, I've done some animated logos.
They fun? Or challenging? Or
they're very challenging. They're very challenging. I did for a customer that has a YouTube channel. I did an animated logo, and that took a while, but it was fun.
I guess you learn. I love tackling on a new project where you don't. I mean, you've got the concept and you're capable of doing it, but you've got to learn it and figure it all out. I mean, and it's something new and different. I mean, if you've been drawing since you were a kid, this didn't exist back then. And not that you're old or anything like that, but I mean, let's face it. I mean, this animated type logos and stuff. I mean, that's probably the last 20 years. Yeah.
So it was a circular logo, and it had multiple pieces in the circular logo for. It was a spiritual yoga company, and for the different pieces of the circular logo, it had one piece come in from the right and another piece come in from the left, and then the heart come in from the front.
That's cool.
And it was done in After Effects, and so she had that come in as the front piece of all of her YouTube channel pieces.
Right, and then it settles down into
her video.
That's cool. I mean, you've talked about Anne Arundel County companies and clients. Who is the ideal client for you? And I mean, I know you've also mentioned small businesses typically don't have the budget. I mean, I do know I've got a client that has a marketing budget of $300,000 a year.
Oh, wow.
And that's, they're few and far between.
Yeah.
But, who's your ideal client for Jennifer Cochran Designs?
So I love working with nonprofits.
Okay.
They don't have large budgets, and I'm okay with that. I like it because I like working with nonprofits because they have meaning. They have a purpose behind what they do.
It's so right. I mean, we're very fortunate to live in Anne Arundel County, and we tend to be a very generous county. I mean, and certainly as horrible as COVID was, I mean, our generosity sort of shone through that when the restaurants came together and people were helping each other out, and the food banks and everything else. And we've got a wonderful nonprofit community in Anne Arundel County, which is hundreds of them that are just doing such good work. And like you said, they do it on a shoestring.
Yeah.
And to be able to have the meaning of what it is. And I mean, you obviously look to things that really sort of check a box with you, or maybe, pique your interests, your own little causes that make sense. So who's the worst client for you?
Gee, that's hard. See, I don't like working with the very large companies because I don't like going through committees and...
I am so with you, Jennifer. I remember one time a friend of mine asked me to get involved with some gala and raising funds and stuff like that and be on the organizing committee. And I was like, okay, yeah, I'm all in. I said, but the deal is I don't do committees well. I don't do any of that. And I said, I'll go out, I'll raise money for you. I'll, find people and everything else. I said, but I don't want to be involved in the minutia. And he says, oh, you absolutely won't. Absolutely won't. After our meeting, I went home. I had 3 emails talking about the table linens and the silverware. And I'm like, I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm out.
Yeah.
I see what you want. I mean, you want to talk with the decision maker.
Yeah.
And I know that, like my tech guy that I work with, I mean, it's not like, oh, I need to run this up to so-and-so and see what he thinks or what she thinks, or, we're going to discuss it and get back to you. Usually it's like, yeah, let's go with this and move it on.
I don't like to have to CC 20 people.
Your ideal client, though, is that a small, you said nonprofits, but I mean, as far as like the business clients or the for-profit clients, is that like the one-person solopreneur, or is it just a smaller company?
Smaller companies. I do like the solopreneurs as well. I really like startups because they are fresh.
I see that. I mean, they're open to ideas.
They are open to new ideas, and they have a blank slate.
And that lets you run free.
It does let me run free, but it also lets us collaborate.
Okay.
I like to sit down and talk to them and get their ideas, and me bring my ideas to the table, and lets us collaborate together.
Well, I've got to think with a startup too, because I mean, they don't know which way they're going anyhow, or which way they're going to end up, that they're more than willing to listen to this. I mean, I'm sure if you got an appointment with IBM, they'd be like, must be blue, must have the lines going through the letters and be no bigger than X, pixels wide or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
And around that, you can do whatever you want. But I mean, it sort of boxes you into.
Yeah. No, I do have clients come to me with a very firm idea of what they want, and I'll give them an other option. I wouldn't say a lot of times they go with the other options, but it's about 50-50.
I will say I get into my own little box myself, and I just don't think outside of that box. And then when you get somebody especially somebody that's got the creative juices like you do, which, I admittedly I don't, it's like, oh, wow, I just never thought of doing it that way, or I never thought of doing that way. And then, I may sit there and ruminate on it a little bit and go, okay, it's kind of growing on me, or nah, I'm not liking it.
Yeah.
And I mean, you seem like the type of person too, and it's a very unique quality certainly with a graphic designer, that you will get into a client's head, if you will. And we talked about not having too many revisions and everything else. As I've worked with a couple of people where I can say, hey, I'm looking to do this, and it comes out and it's like, here it is. And my only thing would be like, maybe the little tan could be a little darker. Easy change.
Yeah.
As opposed to, but everything else I love, as opposed to, way back when I did do something with Fiverr and it was like, I don't like this, send it back. So, you're going through 10 revisions just because in that instance, they're just sitting there churning it out, as opposed to finding out what you want, finding out what you need. And it's a unique quality to be able to get in there and to take a verbal description of this is what I'm thinking about and put it into a visual type of an element.
Yeah, it's good to have conversations with people and find out what's going on in their head.
Do you have any problems with, and I know, do you know Joe Barson by chance? He designed the Bay plates at one point, this last iteration, but I know he had a big problem with a lot of people copying his work.
Oh.
Do you run into that at all I know you do logos, if you do a logo or a branding for an organization, I mean, that's sort of theirs. But do you find that you've got other people that are copying your?
I haven't found anything yet. No.
Knock on wood.
There is this kind of unsaid, like, when you do a logo, you do a lot of research before you finalize your logos. On World, I'm trying to think of the name of the actual website because I've got them bookmarked, so I don't actually think of the names of the websites.
Right.
But you do Google Lens, and you do. There's a couple of other World websites that you search your logo designs by image to make sure that they've not been done before.
Okay, so that I know we've all seen the Google image search that says we can't find the exact one, but we've got some similar ones.
Yes,
and
to make sure that they're not.
And then you look and say, well, how similar is it?
Yes.
Before you.
Yes.
Move on. Okay, that's something I never really thought of, that you turn around and you take your work and just make sure that it's somebody else. I guess at some point, I've often said that, like in music, that, when they talk about artists ripping off other artists with a specific set of notes, I'm like, there's only a finite set of notes.
Yeah. And
at some point they'll come together.
Yeah. And I actually had to, I don't want to say let a client go, but stop working with a client because he wanted a logo concept that I just wouldn't do because it had been done.
That's integrity. There's nothing wrong with that. And I've always been a firm believer in firing clients when when it doesn't work. I mean, because you, as a business owner yourself, I mean, you've got the right to do business with whomever and whomever you don't want. And that's one of the beauties of owning your own business. Of course, there's some downsides. I mean, you got to figure out how to bill out and make money and and everything else there. How long has Jennifer Cochran Designs been around?
6 years.
6 years. What has been the most rewarding aspect of being in business for yourself for 6 years?
Well, being able to make my own schedule and being around for my children and, I don't know, seeing it grow.
And how did it start?
It was just a whim.
Were you working for a corporate design marketing firm prior?
So I worked in DC for several years, and then I freelanced. I worked in Annapolis for a few years, for a year, but I freelanced for a long time, and as I was having my children be very young. And then I decided 6 years ago that I was just going to go for it.
Best choice ever?
Best choice ever.
What's something that most people would be surprised? Okay, I mean, we know what a design firm is. We know what, the branding is and stuff like that. What would be something that people might be surprised to know about Jennifer Cochran Designs? I mean, you mentioned you do illustration. I mean, is that artwork? I mean, obviously it is to you. I mean, but if I could I commission a drawing of my sailboat if I had one?
You could. I don't typically do stuff like that. So the last time I did illustrations, I did 12 illustrations for a company doing a proposal to gain a client. And they wanted some illustrations to show the steps of their proposal.
Interesting. Okay, so essentially the illustrative aspect of, we'll say, a PowerPoint presentation, or however they did
exactly
that, without using the template B.
Exactly. And so I took those steps and basically drew out what was happening in those steps to that proposal.
That's wild.
Yeah.
It's just something you don't normally think about.
I know. You would never think that something like that would be needed, but it was a multi-million-dollar proposal, and
when you've got that on the line, you don't want to scrimp on the
they ended up gaining that client.
Did you get a commission?
No, but it was really rewarding.
Oh, I'm sure. For them
to come back and say, thank you, we got the client.
Right. Well, I tell you, any business that is considering a rebrand, any business that is a startup that's considering, what is the look that we need to have? What image do we need to portray? Certainly, with the startups, I mean, you've got all sorts of crazy people that can be involved with them that, they may be these tech whizzes that know how to code out their yin yang, but they have no idea what colors would match or what colors say, what fonts say, what sizes say, what proportions and orientations. And that's where the beauty of you come in with the graphic design, to be able to put that all together. And I've been a firm believer in let the experts do what the experts do, and you do what you are an expert in, and try not to cross over too much there. Jennifer Cochran Designs.com, and that's COCHRAN Designs.com. Based right up here in Crofton, right in the center of Anne Arundel County. So if you're in North County, West County, South County, or over toward the Eastern Shore, check it out. She's got some amazing, I love the green featured on your website.
Thank you.
What color did you tell me that was?
Chartreuse.
Is it chartreuse? But it's bright, it's bold, and it's innovative, which I think is probably what you're going to be putting out if anybody, when anybody works with you. Let's face it today, I mean, there's such a low bar to enter business. Anything you can get that'll make you stand out is really going to be a benefit to anybody that does it. So, I mean, don't scrimp on your marketing is one thing. I mean, I think, when times get tough, people say, oh, we got to cut back on marketing.
Yes.
No, that's really stupid because people forget about you. Keep it up, keep your name in front of them, and when things get better, they're going to remember that you were there. And the same thing with, with your design. You want to have something that's bold. I mean, if I turned around and put a swoosh in front of anybody that's listening here, they would immediately know that it's Nike. If I turn around and put in that mermaid with the green circle, they're going to know it's Starbucks.
Yes.
The red, white, and blue ball with a swishy, with a swoopy thing through it, they're going to know that's Pepsi. So think about that when you're doing that as opposed to that. Don't put your business, which is your livelihood, in the hands of somebody that's charging you $5 to do it. But definitely give Jennifer Cochran a call at jennifercochrandesigns.com. All the contact information is on there. And if anybody gets a hold of that 4-page questionnaire, let me see it. I'd love to see what it's all about. Jennifer, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to this week's Local Business Spotlight. Please make sure to visit eyeonannapolis.net for all your local news, events, and opinion. And in case you haven't already, please subscribe to the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief, where we bring you all the day's local news direct to your phone, tablet, or computer in about 10 minutes. It comes to you at 6 a.m. every Monday through Friday, and you can subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.